between some of the top two teams at the SAH, Bangalore Buzzers versus the Hyderabad Hellraisers. This is the 8th of August, and we have a great lineup tonight for you. Shady from Hyderabad Hellraisers is going to captain, and Astronaut is going to play the wingman for the Hyderabad Hellraisers, and Vatsan is going to come in as a traded player. We have this concept of traded player, which we'll explain during the break. But for now, there was one pilot unavailable for the HHR team, and so Vatsan has come in as a replacement. Then we have for the Bangalore Buzzers, captaining is Dishank as usual. And we have two replacements for the Bangalore Buzzers. We have Oni FPV, and then we have Anand. Yes, we have Oni FPV and Anand. So that's the lineup. Let's see what is on the racetrack. But before that, let's welcome our expert panelist from Bangalore. Joining us live is Rathi FPV. Welcome, Rathi.
Hey guys, what's up? Hope you're all doing fine. And Karan, I'm sorry to interrupt you like this, but you have to open the server again because Deepu has been kicked out for some reason.
Okay.
So let's just get him back on board. And in the meantime, what's up, guys? I hope you all are doing pretty well. Hit me up in the chat, say hello, ask questions, of course.
So tonight, very interesting game, and it's a brilliant track. So let's take a look at the track. But before that, a quick overview of the point system that we have. We have been following the same rules. Those who are new to the SAH concept, we have a total of 10 rounds. And each round is going to be worth 3 points distributed amongst both the teams. Oni FPV is going to go against Shady, and then Dishang is going to go against Vatsan, and then finally Anand against Astronaut. And all the 6 pilots are going to fly together. Round number 10 is different. Only one pilot will take away the 3 points, and round number 5 will be our intermission. So thanks for joining us.
Right.
And looks like we already have some comments coming in. So welcome everybody. And let's get going at the track now.
And 1 second, before you start the countdown, Karan, can you please switch Dishang to flying again, since he was kicked out?
Okay, that's it. So guys, do not disconnect now. We are all set. And this is the awesome track, guys. We have a fantastic track for you. Look at that. You're going to feel like you're going to swim in this water, and this is an absolute different kind of a track. It's really from a different land, it looks like, and it's the middle of nowhere, and it's going to take you outside from your closed home during the SAH. So quick tips from Rathi. Any particular things about this track that you found fascinating?
I think you can fly underwater. That's pretty fascinating for me. As soon as you start, you enter the underwater tunnels, and it's pretty funny to like. When I was trying to practice this racetrack, I mean, I didn't download it more than half an hour. I had a pretty busy day, but when I did try it, I was just like, wait, what? That isn't right. You want me to go into water? That seems a little messed up. And you can see here, like, these guys are going into the water, going from the water to the exit tunnel, and then you have a nice, beautiful curved gate layout, which is amazing. The other part of the track that really fascinated me was the power loop gate, which is at the end of the second half. I mean, which is the starting of the second half of this track, which is basically going down towards the sea, taking a gate from there. There's a gate on the cliff, so you go from underneath it, and then you have a gate which is which you have to go from on top of. So that becomes a nice power loop, and that is really nice. And like, I really enjoyed practicing on that feature, especially.
And we have some excellent views coming in. This is going to be one of the gorgeous views tracks. We have multiple cameras to cover each of these pilots, and all of them are looking absolutely spectacular. Right now, we are following Oni FPV. You see he's taking the underwater route right now. He's come out of that pipe, and then he's doing some of the other gates right now and doing some other practice rounds as well. So I think all the players are ready to go for the round number one, and we'll be giving them about 30 seconds for another practice, and then after 30 seconds we'll be starting the race. So get ready, guys, at the podium. Welcome once again, all viewers. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. One of the most gorgeous tracks again. Look at that. It looks like a fortress out there in the middle of a deep ocean, and we are flying in beautiful watery conditions out there. And the pilots seem to be enjoying this amazing track. So, boys and girls, let's get going now. At the count of less than 5, let's be on the podium.
1 second, Karan.
Yeah.
Just a second. Karan, you still haven't set Deepu to flying mode. You've set yourself to flying and not him, and he's still on spectate.
Okay, looks like that should be set right now. Okay. And
All right, guys, everything has been
all right, guys. So let's get
set
back
up
to the
correctly.
podium now.
I hope you guys should be good to go.
All right, on your count, the count of less than 5. Let's watch, first of all, one of the fastest pilots from the Hyderabad Hellraisers, captaining his side, Shady. But Vatsan is in the lead, and Vatsan does a really good takeoff. He's really known for that. He's continuing to catapult himself with that amazing start out there. And right now, Astronaut has jumped in the lead from the Hyderabad Hellraisers.
Yeah, the race has started. The race has started.
And Shady right now going.
Yeah, there was a lag. ODFEV is pretty much very close by to Shady, just inches away from him.
Right, so tough competition between Oni FPV and Shady, and these are some of the top players out there competing head to head. And Vatsan and Astronaut, both from Hyderabad Hellraisers, are trying to chip in, but a very close competition. Let's take another angled view over here. We are following Astronaut. Let's switch to Shady out here and see where Oni and Shady are. Yeah, they are at the back of the fortress out there, doing a few gates out there. And
Dishank having a small amount of a crash at the vertical gate, falling behind almost to last position. He is competing with Anand, who also had a crash at the similar gate. Dishank is now pulling away. We see that Watson and Astronaut are having a battle with each other. I think going to Astronaut's FEV view will be amazing because you can see Watson almost a few millimeters or a few gates away from Astronaut.
right, so Shady continues to lead, but by a very thin margin, and Oni FPV is right at the end of his tail out there. He is chasing him, hot and sweet out there, really, and going after Shady with his complete forces right now. Just a gate of difference between the two, and Shady is in the end just by a
Wow,
margin
that
of
is
600
milliseconds of
milliseconds.
difference.
Yeah. That was an amazing, amazing competition right off the bat in the first
I think
round
we've seen
itself.
only FEV giving. I think now we see that Oni FEV is leveling up to the sim racing legends such as Shady and Devnath. So I'm pretty sure Oni did Oni did surprise Shady by quite a bit. And you can see Devnath commenting, saying, "Whoa, what the hell? Just what just happened? That was amazing." Because now we see that Shady and Oni are pretty much just milliseconds apart from each other. And Oni, if he would have practiced a little bit more, I think he would have had the edge over Shady, and you would have seen Shady taking his first ever loss.
Right, and that would have been a big upset for Shady. So literally milliseconds of difference out there, and Oni FPV just warming up, I think so, and he could very well come out on top over here. Nevertheless, let's record the points in real time for you viewers. Shady has taken the first point against Oni FPV, and let's see who is the other one. Vatsan has taken the point against Dishank. And also Astronaut has taken the point against Anand. So it's a clean sweep for the Hyderabad Hellraisers starting at round number 1. The team from Bangalore Buzzers need to put on their thinking caps because they do not want to lose control just after the first round. First round is fine, but if they continue slipping, it could be dangerous. So let's get ready, pilots. Now we are going to start our second round at the count of less than 5. Let's zoom in from a
All
different
right, let's
angle out
go.
there. And the pilots are going to come out from that gate out there of the fortress and into the pipe underwater, that big metallic pipe out there. And some of the tankers are lifting these gates. So look at the wonderful setup that we have. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is another cubic gate out there, and Shady right now is in the lead, but a very, very close competition, neck and neck right now. Again, look at that, how close Oni and Shady are, and Oni is just not giving up.
Oh no, Oni just had a crash because of which Shady does get a small bit of an advantage. But it is not very far away, and they are about 3 gates of a difference. I think Oni can catch Shady still off guard, and he can overtake Shady at the moment. Right now, we see Astronaut still getting the edge over Anand, and Watson still getting the edge over Dishank. Dishank and Watson are having a good competition. Watson just overtaking Anand and cementing his lead over Dishank maybe, until unless he does make a mistake.
So look at that. Vatsan is coming in now, but he dropped quickly to position number 6. Don't know what happened over there exactly.
Watson, exactly what I was predicting. Maybe Watson does have a crash, and so did Dishank, and so did Astronaut. Okay, this is going crazy. I think a lot of people are failing at the same spot, which is the power loop gate, which I said was a very interesting element to this track because it added a extra level of hardness just to get the flow right. If you get the flow completely right, I think you can nail that gate pretty much every time, and this secures a huge advantage for uh, against your team. But right now, we see that the order has been set back in. Dishank still racing and in fourth place, trying to catch up to Watson, and crashing in a crucial place again and again and again. And this is costing him quite a lot of time.
So Onis has also been crashing quite a bit, and that crash has proved him deadly costly for himself and his team. Shady has taken complete advantage of the situation, and let's see what Vatsan does right now. Vatsan at holding up at spot number 3 out there, and finally finishing up his share of the third track as well. Now Dishank coming in loud and clear. He made a few mistakes out there as well. This is a tough track. You have to be really focused on this track, Rathi.
It's not really a tough track as much as it is about the consistency of the track that you need to focus on. It is a pretty simple map, but it's just the fact that if you get a bit of it wrong, I think that does make a huge differentiating factor for the person you are chasing after, because a small mistake from your side could pretty much give the other person an edge. So.
Right. So let's see if it's the same order right now. Shady from HHR picks up the point. Vatsan also picks up the point against Dishank, but Dishank is definitely getting closer to Vatsan, I would say. And Astronaut finally taking the point against Anand. So round number 1 and 2 have resulted in 6-0 as the score line as it stands right now in the favor of the Hyderabad Hellraisers. Let's see what
Some of
happens.
the predictions here on the YouTube comment section says that there is a prediction of 21:9, and then that was by Mr. Devnath Nair. Then again, Mr. Devnath Nair still commented saying 23-7 final prediction, but I think it's being swept towards the Hyderabad Hellraisers more and more and more. So maybe we see a 27-3. I don't know that at the moment, but let's see. Let's move on to the next race, and hopefully that Bangalore can pick up a point or two.
Well, it's nevertheless good to see that the betting scenario has already started out here, and Devnath is the first to pick up on it. He's going to definitely trade in a few dabatas and trying to predict some of the outputs out here. And so let's go, pilots, at the count of less than 5. Let's tune in to some of the pilots. Oni FPV will be looking good through his eyes. He's not that fast to take out. Vatsan is the quickest, but Oni FPV makes
Vatsan's
up. Yeah.
crashing quite hard, and that costs him position. But I think Deepu could have made the entire could have made a huge amount of difference. But I think even he did have a crash. Anand overtaking Anand being first. Um, okay, Anand almost had the edge of being in first place. I think everyone crashed in the start, but now you can see Shady and Astronaut are having a race against each other, and it's going amazing. Astronaut just crashing out, giving Shady the lead. Only FEV is on the tail of Shady again, and I think this is going to be even closer than before. I think it's super close between them, and you can see that they have a gate of difference, and it's amazing to watch only FEV's feed. While you can see Aman's red trailing quad out there, who's
Wow, and
almost
Oni FPV has taken
right there.
over. Oh, and Shady again back in the lead. This is definitely turning out to be very, very close, hardly inches away. Let's take another look from third person view out there. What's exactly happening? And we'll get a sense of the difference between the two out there. Shady and Oni separated by just a gate away. And another, I think, round is remaining for both these pilots. This will be the one in which they will have to put on the complete accelerator, with Shady trying to get a little bit of advantage. I think Oni did make a few mistakes out there that really costed him his speed, and Shady has capitalized on that. Coming now through that underground bridge out there, and around the fortress into the horizontal gate, and then around some of the other rocky stones out there. Shady continues to dominate, and mostly, unless Oni FPV really puts it on, Shady, as usual, has again taken the lead and finished it at number one. And let's see from astronaut's viewpoint right now. It's spot number three for him, looking good. If he finishes right now in spot number three, he will be happy with himself. So a good progress for astronaut, and Vatsan and Dishank still to complete their individual laps out there. Vatsan's doing it. So I think the story of the round right now is Shady again getting his point, the needed 1 point, and Vatsan was against Dishank. So Vatsan has also taken that point. And then let's see, finally, Astronaut has also taken the point against Anand. So this is going to be very, very, if not closed in by the Bangalore buzzer soon, this is going to be big time trouble for the Bangalore buzzers.
I think you said it completely right. I think going in some of the comment sections here, we see that Jasim Mullah has predicted the score of 28 to 2. Then we have James Bachchan saying, "Can we please have a T-shirt of sorry, can we please have a T-shirt that says race starts in less than 5?" I think that'll be a really great merch drop, Karan. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like that idea. It's a fantastic one, and that's a phrase that's used by all kinds of RJs everywhere. Those who conduct these drone racing things, less than five is the popular word, unless they start from three or other count. But five is usually where the count begins. And yeah, so I am voting for that T-shirt definitely, James Bachchan. All right, so let's get going, guys, at the count of less than five. The pilots have taken off through the underground tunnel, coming up on
Only
top.
FEV is just ahead. Only FEV is just ahead of Shady, just by a margin. Hopefully, he can maintain this lead, because that'll prove that. I mean, that means that Shady will just have to cry, and like he'll have to break down on stream. But right now, we see that Watson is actually flying far ahead of even Shady, and Shady closely catching up to Watson. But now only FEV has the lead. Now it's Shady. Oh my God, this is actually very fascinating. You can see that these guys are just touching their propellers with each other, and it's really close racing here. As you can see, like exiting the water, you can see Only FEV just has a tighter line and he has a small advantage over Shady, but Shady pulling away where it counts and slightly making a good enough difference for in such a way that only FEV has to push so much more. I think this way you can see that Shady FEV is conquering, but only FEV is not backing down. In the midfield, we have Anand who is overtaken Dishank, and they are messing up at this exact spot, which is the dive gate after the water tankers, and this is where they are all having problems. Both Anand and Dishank. So a little bit of, I mean, a little bit of practice would have helped them out by quite a bit.
All right, so there you go. Oni continues to twitch on the tail of Shady. Shady is thinking that it's annoying, continues to go ahead of him. But it's like, these milliseconds count a lot, and Shady is such good at covering those milliseconds. And like Rati, I mean, this is like Oni and Shady that way don't look like they are much different. But what's the real difference? What's the magic that Shady really brings in that he separates out by like a few milliseconds or a second or something like that?
Shady just has a better PC, I would say. I'd be toxic and I'd say if only FEV had the same amount of gear as as Shady, I think only FE would have definitely beaten Shady by now. Shady having one of the best equipments that he can get, I mean, in this IDRL space, and that is exactly why Shady is ahead of only FEV at the moment.
Right, and so are his motor skills and also the reaction time plays a lot of counter strike as well. So he's continuously being training his mind to be very, very reactive. And so let's see what the scoreline looks like. Shady once again at points one taken away from Oni FPV. Watsan has defeated Dishank, and then Astronaut has defeated Anand, who is still to complete the 3 laps for him. So it is 12-0 right now. As I said, if they don't close the gap right now, it's going to be very tough moving forward. So for the next 4 races, they have to be completely dominating BBZ. If they have to level up, and then they have to leave it up to round number 10 to close in for the final call. So before the intermission, let's take another round at round number 5, and let's go, boys, at the count of less than 5. There you go. We are seeing Watsan. We were hoping that he would kick off the bat right there, but he hasn't. He's right now in spot number 5. Only FPV, in fact, is leading out there. Look at that. All the pilots very, very close to each other. Now entering into some of the dangerous curvy areas out there of the fortress, coming on from the underground back bridge and rotating around the Rockies out there, going on top of the horizontal gates. And look at that, such a close competition. Shady and Oni FPV. Looks like both of them are being controlled by just one pilot. So, it's that close right now, coming off from the pipe.
I think you said it completely right. Only FEV and Shady again are going at each other pretty close by, and it's really close between them. Sadly enough, Anand got disconnected in at this point in time. I think Anand's presence would have really helped out in this race. But the fact is, he is not going to race, so he will be counted as a disqualification. Anand and I mean, sorry, Oni and Shady are pretty close by to each other. I think Oni is getting a little tired of seeing uh, Aman's squad, I mean, sorry, Shady's squad right in front of him, and he is trying to catch up millisecond by millisecond. I think they both are racing the same drone over here, which is kind of rare because they both are sticking to the same spec, these things, so what do you call same spec drones. And you can see that their skill level is only a millisecond away from each other. As we saw in the first race, that they were maybe a few milliseconds off of each other, and any mistake by Shady could provide absolute mayhem. Right now,
Right.
you can see again that this was a very, very, very close lap.
Yeah, it was very close indeed. We'll have to get the exact timing out there. But Oni FPV will be telling himself, yet so close and yet so far. And that's something that he'll be upsetting himself over, because that red tail line will be definitely distracting him. That Shady moving just a few milliseconds, unable to catch Shady. And let's see right now, Dishank still about to catch his end of the track, and astronaut maybe just reaching in front of him, while Dishank finishes at the fifth spot. So this looks an all-out take again for the Hyderabad Hellraisers, and we will go by the timing out here. The story of Shady against Oni continues to.
Karan, in the meantime, can you just open the server so that Anand can join in?
Okay. All right, Anand, you can join in, but it's the same story nevertheless. Round number 5, Shady has won over Oni. Vatsan has won against Dishank, and Astronaut has won against Anand. So far a clean sweep. 15 is to 0 is the scoring for the Hyderabad Hellraisers, and BBZ. We will be taking about a minute and a half of break time. Till then, we'll be answering some of the comments out there, and then we'll be also allowing you to take some of the breaks. Guys, you bring your soda, popcorn, whatever you have, and enjoy post the halftime. We'll be back in about a minute and 15 seconds. Let's take a look at the comments that are coming in. Any interesting ones, Rathi?
Okay, so there's not really much that has been going on, but a lot of people have been just saying that Oni can beat Aman, but then there are also a lot of people saying that, okay, maybe even Aman, I mean, so maybe Aman is just a little too fast for Oni FEV. I think Aman's setup is really helped Aman out during this entire race, and I think Oni FEV, if he gets the similar sort of advantages such as what Shady has, I think Oni FEV will also be very much up there. With Shady and Devnath competing again, maybe next time we see him competing in the D1 Legends. What do you say, Karan?
Yeah, definitely. I was actually just thinking about Oni against Shady, and Oni, it looks to me like he's waiting for some kind of a gate at which he can take over, or some position in the track where he can really, make himself ahead of Shady. I don't know if that's the feeling that you take away as well, Rati.
I don't really. I would say I have no comments on that topic. In the meantime, can you please switch Anand to flying mode, and then we can probably start with our next race as well.
All right, Anand, you are in flying right now, and locking the server. All right, so back from the break, let's go at the count of less than 5. Taking a top view angle, we'll be seeing these pilots come in into directly through that underground pipe tunnel.
Watson taking off again. I think Watson's starts are amazing. They are at the level of what we have seen from the Urta Punjab team. I think Urta Punjab teams, Rex FPV and Lit the Wings have amazing race starts when it comes down to it. You see that Shady now taking flight with Oni FEV and Shady trading places, and they're only inches away from each other. And Shady just has a little bit of a advantage to Oni FEV. Oni FEV is just a few centimeters behind Aman. I think Oni FEV does get a little confused and a little distorted when it comes to the underwater part where Shady just takes the edge. I feel if Oni FEV just does this one part better, I think Shady will have a real pain at the real pain trying to defeat Oni FPV after this. As you
Look,
can see, they're still
yeah.
very close to each other.
Oh,
Oni
Oni's
FPV
FPV
catching
is in
up
the lead
to
now. Oni
Shady.
FPV has taken the lead for the first time for a long time right now, beyond a few seconds. And Oni FPV looking really good. Can he capitalize on this lead? That's the question because Oni FPV is now ahead by a gate. That's a different story in this round. He has really come back. Hats off to Oni FPV.
I think Aman has started to push hard against Oni. He doesn't want to lose to Oni FEV. Uh, so in the comment section, Devnath put up a success lipo on the bets, saying that if Oni FPV does beat Shady in one of the races, he will be giving away a success pack. So now we will see that there will
Wow,
be a
and Oni
success pack which will
FPV
be given
has
away to
won this
I
one.
don't exactly remember who, but yes, we see that Oni FPV has finished.
And look at that. Right now, the Bangalore buzzers are really buzzing it. Dishang, the captain, really playing it hard, taking the lead and showing the path. He has been in the silent zone for a while, but no longer, he says, and he is now in position number 3, all ready and confident like a lion in the jungle. And he looks like he's going to
Aman,
lead,
true,
lead
true,
against
Aman.
Watson.
Aman,
Um, the problem is I can't actually control my laughter because they've not just put a bet saying that, oh,
Wow.
Aman will never lose to Oni, and here he is losing a success pack to Oni FEV. He has confirmed that he will be giving away the pack to Oni FEV. It's amazing, Devnath, that you're doing such a lot of good work for the community, giving away free lipos for pilots such as Oni FEV, who is an upcoming talent. And I'm pretty sure if Oni FEV does do just this much amount of practice even in real life racing, we'll see that I think we'll have podium finishes for Oni FEV along with Devnath and Shady.
So, very, very commendable Oni FPV. And look at that, the tables have turned slightly in this round with 2 points now in the bag for the Bangalore buzzers. And somebody, I think, had predicted 28 is to 2. I think it was 28, 25 milliwatts. So at least two bags have been made for him right now. And 16 is to 2 is the count right now with the astronaut against Anand. Anand not able to make it. He's quite a distance away from astronaut. So it's going to be Oni FPV and Dishank who will be continuing to lead the way and fight it till the very end. Let's go, guys, now at the count of less than 5. Round number 7. Fantastic. We see all the birds from the viewpoint of Anand. Let's take a look at them. A splendid rainbow of red and green tails out there. It's really very relaxing to watch, especially in these outdoor kind of a track settings. And also our viewers must be feeling very, very free. A breath of fresh air feels like going to some kind of Sinhagad or fort and visiting some of the spots out here in our state and of course all around India. So it's really a happening race right now. And again, Oni versus Shady. Oni right now is in the lead. He is really showing the path to Shady FPV right now, but Oni makes a damn
Sadly
mistake out
enough,
there.
Oni just yeah. Sadly enough, Oni does make a mistake. Otherwise, maybe I think the comment sections are asking for another lipo to be donated to Oni FEV, another success lipo that is. But I don't think this will happen in this round because of Oni FEV crashing. Until unless Shady also crashes in a crucial moment and it takes Shady just enough time to recover. We see that Dishank is leading against Vatsan and Anand is leading against astronaut FEV, but for how long? Dishank already falling a place to Watson. Watson actually has an amazing race start, but Watson is now crashing somewhere, and it does not look very good for him.
Yep, and unfortunately, Oni FPV tried to make some good ground. He's still trying to cover a lot of speed out there. We are watching him, and Dishank out there is supposed to be giving us an interesting surprise package. Coming back after the halftime, looks like he's had a little bit of a boost in that halftime period, and beyond the halftime, he is continuing to take the points for his team. And Oni FPV falling short of his expectations this time, giving away the win to Shady, and Shady relaxing in the shade out there right now with Oni FPV just about making it. And let's see, Watsan around some of the other end parts of this track. He is trying to cover it well against Dishank. Dishank is on his tail. Let's see from the first person view, but Dishank is slightly a little too away from Vatsan. And between Astronaut and Anand, oh, looks like Anand has come in the lead. Looks at that. I mean, he's the surprise one right now. And looks like he's going to score for the Bangalore Buzzers. Oh, he does. And Anand's first point as well. Congratulations, Anand. That deserves a round of
Congratulations to
claps.
Anand, pretty much. Sadly enough, I think now we are going more towards Devnath prediction of 20, 27, sorry, 27-3 or something. No, it was 23-7. So maybe if Anand, Dishang, and Oni, if we keep up their kind of performance, they can pretty much tilt a bit at least into their favor, so it does not hurt them as much going to the next rounds.
Right. So both Oni and Dishank failed against the top two of the Hyderabad Hellraisers, and unexpectedly Anand took the win against Astronaut. That gives still a scoring of 3 points for the Bangalore Buzzers, and Hyderabad Hellraisers quite comfortably in the lead with 18 points. So let's jump ahead straight into round number 8 right now, and let's go at the count of less than 5. Let's watch Oni this time. Shady Watson again picking up that speed. And let's see if he's able to maintain himself right now, Watson. An astronaut out there, look at that, who is the initial first part of this track. There are quite a few different pilots to watch. And Watson seems to be leading right now. Oh, wow, he's doing fantastic out there.
But but sadly enough, Shady and Oni both are steaming right at him, and I think if okay, he has just been passed because he did make a mistake. I think he did crack a little under pressure, and because of this, there was a problem with Watson's confidence. I think Oni FPV and Shady again. Look at them; they're so close to each other. Oni FPV making a small bit of a mistake, which cost him this entire race. I feel until unless Shady does also make a lot of mistakes. Dishank and Anand both at the fifth and sixth position. I think they would really want a comeback at the moment to do much better compared to that of Watson and Astronaut. Astronaut again finding a few issues, and Dishank just on the tail and passes Watson at the crucial moment. I think this is the one part where Watson has been getting it completely wrong, and Dishank making the most out of this advantage and taking up the entire this one of the race to his favor. Sadly enough, Dishank crashing again. Maybe Watson is now really on Dishank's tail. Dishank just of 2 gates behind Watson, and looks like Deepu is missing a few gates, and this is really costing him his race because now I think it is a clear win for Watson. Deepu almost being passed by Astronaut, but Deepu also passes Astronaut FAV by just a margin. Astronaut FAV just about 2 gates behind Deepu.
Surely, and Oni FPV did make a few mistakes out there, especially under that water was his first mistake. And then he continued to lose the lead to Shady, and Dishank also making a few mistakes, giving away the lead to Vatsan. And Vatsan should be able to complete his track well ahead of Dishank and Astronaut as well against Anand. So this time it does look like it's going to be in the favor of the Hyderabad Hellraisers. All 3 points, unless there's going to be a big topple away. Anand comes back. The race is not quite over between Astronaut and Anand. If Astronaut crashes away, but that doesn't look very likely. He is that way a very, very good pilot. Once he hangs in there, he is just going to move forward. So there you go, three
Alright, looks
points.
like that's the end of that race. Yes.
So all 3 points going in the hands of the Hyderabad Hellraisers. 21-3 is the scoring. And all those bettors out there with a lot of debatas, please make a note of this. It's 21-3 after the end of round number 8. All
Now I
right.
think like everyone's is most Okay, I think we can start the next race and we can continue the commentary at the same time. I think let's have the next race starting now.
There you go. We are 2 seconds away from starting round number 9. Astronaut, look at that front person view for him. But Watson again in the lead. Watson continues to take the lead, but this time let's see if he is not bulking under the pressure of Shady and Oni, but he does. And Oni and Shady easily get past him without much effort. Shady right now, we are seeing him front person view. I love the first person view. He does that inverted loop out there. Shady, very good at that. And Oni on his tail. Look at that. Both of them together right now. And Oni
Aman did
FPV.
make a small mistake, and now Oni has just caught right up to Aman. I think if Aman keeps making such small mistakes, it will cost him the race. And Oni FEV just so close to Aman, it's unreal as to see them fly. This is one of the closest racing battles we've had during the entire series. I mean, in this stay-at-home series, we saw the likes of Devnath going up against Oni FEV and. Only FPV besting Devnath in quite a few races, but here it looks like Shady is not here to lose, and he is giving Oni FPV a complete run for his money. And you see that Shady FPV is just losing out a few milliseconds on that on the underwater part, and now we see that they're so close to each other. It's unreal. Um, at the moment, then we also see Vatsan and Dishank racing against each other. Dishank just getting the edge over Vatsan, and I think that may cost Vatsan the race. But Vatsan looking to come back really strong. Only
Yeah, Oni FPV did crash out there in
FPV
the
has a crash, and he has 100% drop damage, which is so sad.
right, and Shady completely dominating towards the end of that lap. Very unfortunate for Oni FPV. Could have done a little better out there right now. Astronaut is actually trying to catch up to Oni FPV. And Dishank behind him, not by much, still about 5 gates, but that is a good amount of difference. Astronaut should be able to continuously, easily sail past Dishank towards the finish line. This is Dishank that we are watching right now. And Dishank and Vatsan seem to be in some kind of a competition out here. Look at that, looping around the tri-gate structure out there, the Jacob's ladder.
Sadly enough, Deepu just missed it, and you can see that they're milliseconds apart from each other. I think
Wow.
Deepu would have clearly won that round if he hadn't made the mistake in the fourth last gate. I think that costed him a real victory here, because of which again you will see that the Hyderabad Hellraisers are getting all 3 points.
All 3 points again uh, in the favor of Hyderabad Hellraisers. But the race between Oni FPV and Shady was definitely like a theatrical performance, a gala show out there, a production quality racing between them. And we were really excited to see both of them racing for all the 3 laps, and Shady taking the win in the end. So let's go, guys. This is going to be the final round, and the 3 points for the pilot. Let's go right now at the count of less than 5. Round number 10, very interesting round to watch. 3 points for the pilot who comes in first. And let's see who is in the lead right now. Astronaut, all the pilots very close. Difficult to say who is going to be in the lead. Usually we see Shady and Oni FPV come out on top of each other. So again, a tune in to Oni FPV against a Shady out there. This time a little far behind from Shady, not too close as compared to the other last round that we had. And he has again crashed in. Oni FPV looks like some kind of a psychological thing has also played on him. Some crashes, he's not looking comfortable, but on FPV will be looking to get back. Definitely against Astronaut, will not wanting to give Astronaut the second position for sure. And but it's really Shady who is out there right now. Oh, and Oni FPV has come back. Look
I
at
think
that.
this is actually Yeah, I was just about to say that, and it looks like Oni FEV has come back. I think Aman did have a small bit of a crash. Astronaut and Oni are having a race against each other, while Aman is lagging behind by almost a gate, which is just really funny because if Oni FEV does win this, and like it pretty much pulls down anybody's predictions that they have made. Shady now very close to Oni FEV. They're almost neck and neck to each other. It's amazing to see. We see that Astronaut and Oni FEV are right there. Shady taking the advantage by having very close lines at the tank
Oh wow!
gate,
And
and Oni
on
FEV just making a
FPV
small mistake because of which
mistake.
it has cost him his race.
Oh wow! And Shady would definitely take advantage of that, and also Astronaut, I believe, that was
Astronaut
quite.
FAV crashing again, and now Oni is going to catch up to Astronaut FAV, and he is going to pass Astronaut FAV. I'm pretty sure of it because of Oni's
Oh
form.
wow! At the very tail end of
Oni
it,
now
right?
taking in, yes, exactly, exactly what I had predicted.
Very
So
very
that's
interesting. Yeah.
that is just the final nail in the coffin. Now we see the final score of 27 points is to 3. Sadly, this is not the kind of clean sweep that the Hyderabad Hell Racers were expecting, but it is what it is, and sadly enough for the Hyderabad Hellraisers, this is not another clean sweep for them.
Nice. So did any of the betters get this right? 27 is to 3. I think 25 milliwatts was close at 28 is to 2.
What?
Did any of the betters get it right? 27 is to 3, the score line.
I don't think anybody did. They all predicted, from what I am seeing here, Devnath said 23-7 final or 21-9 final, but that has obviously changed. Jasim saying 28-2, which is one of the closest that has come down here. I had predicted 30-0, but Aman let me down, and so did his team. That is really sad, Aman. I think you owe me. Devnath again saying 30-0 as final prediction, and then Oni FAV coming in right after that race and beating Aman and getting a 6S pack from Devnath. I think Devnath doing some amazing work helping out junior pilots, and this is really nice to see that Oni FAV does benefit from this race, even though he did kind of not. I mean, he did not earn the points as much as he would have. I think he still has a good takeaway from this entire race.
So overall, a very, very fascinating race. Hope you all had a real fun time, viewers. And now let's, as our tradition is at SAH, at the end of every match, we do call in the captains of each team. First, the captain from the losing side, Dishank, if we can please have him on the commentary box. Let's unmute Dishank. Hello, Dishank.
Deepu, could you hear us? If yes, please do comment. I mean, do chat with us.
What? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
there.
so we have the Bangalore team captain Deepu joining us. Deepu, how was the race today?
Oh, well, it feels like Deepu is on some other planet out here. It's taking a while for the signal to reach him. Deepu, are you still there?
Um, Deepu, we still can't hear you, so we'll move on to the Hyderabad Hellraisers captain, Shady.
All right, Shady.
Very
Hello, Shady. Welcome once again. Big
yes,
congratulations to you. A dominating performance out there. How do you feel?
yeah. Great. Yeah. I mean, Oni was impressive.
Just impressive. I think he beat you there, man. How does it feel like to finally be beaten in an IDRL race?
But
As stay-at-home
Devnath,
series race.
Devnath has beaten.
That is Devnath, right? I mean, that is again because of your mistakes. But in this time, I think only FPV came very close to you, and you guys were having
Yeah, yeah.
such
That was
great back and forth. I think you didn't expect to be beaten by Oni FEV at the start.
yeah. I didn't, and that's why I got beat.
So now, do you think Oni FEV is a real threat to you guys?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And I think you can see a lot of praises going to Oni FEV. I think he has
And
come out.
even like Watson, he was also very good. Like,
I think Watson's starts were amazing. Karan, what do you have to say about Watson's starts? I think
no,
we
he
always
just
saw
had a
that
faster
he.
chord.
No, I've been seeing him right from the first race actually, and he has been starting real at the top, even against TRV. That's the only other team that they have raced. And Watson actually didn't get a chance to play against TRV the last round, actually yesterday, because of the exam schedule of the TRV, resulting into a forfeit of the race for the Pelicans. So Vatsan would be happy that he was able to join in today and again showed to the world that he is one of the best starters out there. He's really, I mean, at the count of less than five, he is the king out there.
No, I would absolutely agree. I think Watson just taking off his quad really quickly, and you can see it in his performance that he just takes off. And the only place where he was losing time was the a little bit of a technical part, which was the dive gate and the exit I mean, right after the water part. So there, that is exactly where he was making a lot of mistakes, and I think that is the exact area which he's going to improve upon. I'm pretty sure.
For sure. And Shady, what was kind of the most difficult part of the track that you found relatively as compared to your, I
Uh,
mean, skill level? It's
so the
actually.
most difficult part is like there was this cube that you had to go into, and that was the only place that I had to slow down. Otherwise, I could have. I mean, I was full throttle all the way. That was one place where my lines not that great.
And how did it feel like going under the water? Was it anything different? Like you have to lower.
Um, yeah, I mean, like it was regular lines. Like I didn't have to do anything different because of the water. Like the physics didn't change.
Yeah, I think that was the funnier part about this whole
Yeah,
track, wasn't it, Aman?
yeah.
You have to go underwater, but like the physics don't actually change, and you're just like, wait.
I mean, it would be really funny if we lost all video because that's what would
Yeah.
happen underwater.
That is true, and we would also lose the entire quad as well. Let's not forget about that. I have had experience of losing water in a.
Oh,
I mean, I've had an experience of losing a drone in water. That's like it's absolutely
damn
heartbreaking.
sad.
But Aman, what do you think about this? About your team's performance in this entire race? Were you really happy with how they performed, and were you at all missing your teammate Bangos, who is in China, and he is pretty much just taking a week off from his daily lifestyle and is roaming around in and around China?
Yeah, we surely Bangos. He would have been great, but I guess the replacement was great too.
All right then. Moving on, Karan, do you have any more questions for Aman? Because Dishank has a Skype meeting going on in the office, and he has been, I would say, he has been racing while he was working as well. So I mean, hats off to Dishank. I think that is exactly why he was not in the game today as much as he would like to have been.
Right. So, I mean, really, I mean, as a captain, Shady would definitely be feeling at the top of the world right now. His team has definitely performed really, really well out here, and they have really had a clean sweep, at least in the group stage until now. And let's see how the matchup is after for the knockouts, who they match up against. They're obviously going to take position number one in Group B that they are in, and they will be playing the second place Warriors from Group number A. So that will be an interesting position to watch. So we wish you all the best, Aman, for your next performance, and definitely do count in Bangos, and we will be waiting for Bangos's performance, and wishing you all the best till then.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Also, Dishank, thank you so much. Your captaincy, the Bangalore Buzzers, definitely had some hope at round number 6 and 7. You showed the way for them, but in the end, definitely very, very overwhelming on part of the Bangalore Buzzers. So that's it. That's the wrap up right now. We thank our viewers, our sponsors, new sponsor as usual, Beta FPV, and our local sponsors, One Martian Way, IRC, GetTVS.in, Quadcopters, and Zine Drone Racing. And we greatly thank our expert panelist and commentator, Shreyas Rati, who has been doing a very, very excellent, knowledgeable commentary over here and giving our viewers an excellent wide perspective into each and every race. So we'll be seeing him the next week. Once we are into the knockout stage. We'll see you on the 15th of August, our Independence Day. The knockout stages will begin out there on the 15th of August. Do join us, and we will keep you updated with the match line. And do stay tuned to our news feed. Till then, it's all out, and it's a good night from our studios in Mumbai, from the IDRL Theatre, and from Bangalore. We wish you a good night and sweet dreams. Thank you very much.